Hello everybody, welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and this is going to be the general daily collective message for April the 12th. Keep in mind, timing and energy is still fluid. This reading could play out today or over the next several days. This reading may or may not be for you, so I ask that you only take with you the messages that resonate and leave behind the rest. This reading is also not sign specific, although I will call out any zodiac signs that I do feel need mentioning throughout the reading. We do have the Jupiter-Neptune conjunction today. It will be exact at 0. I feel we're entering into a brand new cycle in love, and many are awakening to their core truth, to this higher truth that's coming through. So let's see what kind of energies need to come through with the cards today. I am going to start off with the Spiritual Journey Oracle deck. I do want to give a shout out to Zandra in the UK. I do want to thank you immensely for the gift that I did receive in the mail last week when I was sick. And she actually corrected me. I have an app on my phone that scans crystals, and this is actually like cobalt quartz is what she told me. It's actually a gorgeous piece, and I've never ever seen anything so beautiful. So I wanted to thank you. And this Magenta Bridge spray by Amanda Ellis, and I have one of her decks, the Archangel Metatron decks, and she's phenomenal. And the spray really has, helped calm the energies for me. So I do want to give a huge shout out and a thank you to you, Zandra, in the UK. So, all right, let's jump in with some cards, guys. Your authentic voice. This is coming up very strongly. I know many in the collective are being asked to find their authentic truth, to find their authentic voice, and to clear and remove any blocks within the throat chakra. I do feel there's a lot of throat chakra energies clearing within the collective. Many of us are so afraid to openly and honestly express who we truly are. And finding our authentic voice really is a part of this intense spiritual transformation. If we are to reach a place of unconditional love, we have to unconditionally be willing to step into our authenticity and to speak our truth. And we do that by promoting love in our life, by showing ourselves love, not being afraid to express who you truly are without judgment. And, not everybody's going to like you. Not everybody's going to have something positive to say. And in all honesty, other people's opinions of you really is none of your business. So if you really want to step into your highest purpose, you really have to consider what external factors are no longer serving you. And with this conjunction, these changes might be very subtle. But this is where we do the deep legwork, and we do have Pluto going retrograde at the end of the month, and this is going to be a huge collective rebirth energy coming through. So where do you need to show yourself love, compassion, release any criticism of self? Can you look at your reflection in the mirror and honestly figure out what it is that you need to heal from the inside out if you are to step into this healing light that's coming forward with all of these high frequency light codes? Because we're all here to kind of share our knowledge, to share the wisdom we've attained through all of our life experiences. And many of us are empaths, and many of us have gone through a lot of traumatic experiences along our life journey. And this is how we attain wisdom. We don't attain wisdom, like I said, when things are easy breezy. So I feel divine time says it's time to kind of level up. You know what work you've already done. Spirit knows what work you've already done. And now it's time to do an even deeper dive if you are to experience a very powerful breakthrough within the energies. We all have the ability to transform our life and find solutions to any issues that have been festering below the surface. And when we do the hard work, we can finally persevere and we can step into that brand new life. So if you want that new life, you're going to have to make the adjustments needed in order to bring these higher frequencies into your life and ground them for this 5D Earth mission. So let's see what else needs to come through for the collective, for the energies today. find your tribe. Many people are, you know, removing so many people out of their lives, and part of the spiritual journey is going through the shedding. And I know for my own journey, I had to remove everything prior to my awakening out of my life. Friendships of over 20 years, poof, gone like the wind. And it really is in solitude that you can master these energies and come into that aligned state. And look at that, your authentic voice, once again, on the bottom of the deck. So remove those throat chakra blockages. And that is a big step on the journey, finding your voice. I think we're all at this major fork in the road, this divine Y point, where we have to look at our life, and many of us are making very important decisions right now that will have substantial impact moving forward. So get ready for a moment of self-actualization when we reach this pivot point. I always laugh when I see that card because I think the series Friends and Pivot. But you might have to pivot if you're going to reach your fullest potential. So when we come into this self-actualization, when we come into understanding our core truth, when it comes to these higher truths, when it comes to our past life timelines, that's when we can, you know, ground these core strengths and use them to our advantage in order to seek out these true soul family members that we are connected with. So it's like we come down to earth in these soul pods, and we always meet the right people at the right divine time. So if you want a healthy romantic partnership, then you're going to have to only seek out people, places, and things that are going to contribute to your soul's growth. If you're connected to people that are depleting you and keeping you stuck and stagnant, then I think you're going to have to reevaluate where you're at and make that tough decision when it comes to releasing people that aren't meant for you. I think get ready to reignite your passions again. The energy can be very creative. It's very uplifting in the heart space is kind of what I felt this morning. And if you want to figure out what's going to spark your creativity, you're going to have to go within, because many of us are being asked to step into our spiritual work, to step into the entrepreneurial path. We are, like I said, these trailblazers, these way showers for the future. So what is it that you love to do? And can you apply that when it comes to creating financial stability in your life? We all have a creative aspect, whether you're a man or a woman, we all have creativity within. And it is through all of these traumatic events in our life that allows us to figure out what really speaks to our heart and our soul. So I do think being shown the Hanged Man, get ready for a new perspective, a shift in outlooks. And, you know, I think get ready for the veil to be lifted when it comes to something you didn't quite see before, in order to see things from that higher perspective. And then we get this beautiful reconciliation and telepathy. So you likely are connected with another in the spiritual realm. And when you are connected spiritually with another through the chakra pathways, you're able to transmit their thoughts, their feelings, their emotions. And I do feel a reunion with a loved one is on the horizon. And this doesn't have to be romantic, although it is feeling that way. But if you've been dreaming about a reconciliation, even if it's just to come together to remove those throat chakra blockages in order to balance some scales of justice, I think whatever circumstance is coming up to be addressed, it's getting rather intense. And you're going to have to pay attention to the way that the universe has been communicating with you. And this soul connection has been communicating with you. And so telepathic energies can come through emotions, feelings, your emotional body, through songs, messages from other people. I receive all kinds of downloads and messages from my own journey through all kinds of people that I'm connected with. So you really got to pay attention to the deeper meaning that all of these messages hold, because I do feel the angels and the guides are trying to bring a deep spiritual connection together into union. And I do feel there is a deep telepathic connection here. So let's jump in with some more Illumination Oracle cards. So where do you need to release these hurts? Why are you holding on to this past pain? We cannot step into this new cycle in love holding on to the hurts of yesterday. And so when we go through this release, we gain clarity through the purging of all of the pain on the heart chakra. And the heart chakra is the gateway receptor to understanding all of these frequencies, to kind of aligning with this, the song of the universe. So I think get ready to release any lingering hurt on your heart chakra. You can't keep holding on to the pain if you're to step into growth and abundance. I think somebody here has been very patiently waiting for a reunion or a reconciliation, and there is a need to release any lingering pain if you're to step into a soulmate connection. And we can't lock the door on the past. You can't just lock the door, slam it shut, and think that these energies are not going to come back to the surface eventually. So I do feel it's time to regain control of your life. You might want to take a vacation or just take a break from the busyness of your life. But, you know, we're here to release any feelings of inadequacy. We are always worthy. We are always enough. There is a fresh start here. But if you've been spiraling, it's time to regain control. Somebody here has been withholding communication, withholding truth. There's a need to clear that throat chakra blockage. And maybe they've been withholding a conversation because of some inadequacy issues or fear of not being good enough. And I kind of feel there's a need to release any unhealthy patterns and to walk away from whatever's not serving you in order for this illumination. And I think the emotions are very intense. There's big changes, and we're coming up on the eclipse season, and that's where things are going to get removed out of our life drastically. There's a lot of illumination when it comes to the blessings that you're here to manifest for your life, and we manifest through our heart. So I do think love is in focus. There's definitely something that's completely over that is needing to be addressed in order to fix what's broken from the past for this fresh new beginning. So there is a fresh new beginning here. And spring is the time of, you know, this rebirth, blooming, new cycles. Easter is also just around the corner, and the veil will be very thin this Easter weekend. I'm very deeply connected to the timeline of Christ. So Easter I hold dear to my heart. So I do feel somebody really wants to fix what's broken within a soulmate connection, a telepathic soulmate connection, a connection where you've been energetically connected. I think somebody fears maybe the door's been locked on the past, but there's a need to kind of refocus, regain control, and to release this past hurt. And you might need to show somebody some compassion in the energies today. I do feel somebody's struggling to get control of their life. And it is stemming around some deep-seated hurt that somebody's been holding on to for a very long time. And I do think this is stemming around some inadequacy issues. And, you know, we are all guides, teachers, healers of some sort. So what skills and abilities do you have that are preparing you to be that guide for others? When we leave this life, we take nothing with us but the legacy of memories that we leave behind. So I do believe get ready to face some challenges, some adversities that are needing to be overcome. And I feel the energy is very challenging, creating some roadblocks, and people might be testing you today. It's like this energy of going to war, fighting for your freedom, fighting for your right to exist in this world in order to step into these teaching roles. So what is your calling? Because you are being called to share your knowledge that you have learned up until now to help others fulfill their mission as well. So let's see what else needs to come through. Abandoned. We are never ever truly alone. So maybe somebody abandoned you in the past, or maybe you abandoned another, and maybe that's a hurt that is needing to be released and you know, felt and healed once and for all. I do feel it's a challenge for many of us to overcome this feeling of aloneness and unwantedness. And when it comes to abandonment wounds, we'll repeat that same wound over and over and over again in every romantic relationship we encounter until we heal it at that seed point. So I feel there is a need to go deep into some childhood wounding in order to really fix what's been broken below the surface. So somebody here has been very greedy with their time, their money, their emotions, and somebody here is clinging to a lot of material possessions that really have, you know, had power over somebody. And I do feel somebody fears maybe the single life, but I kind of feel we can never ever allow possessions to have power over us in this physical world. We're kind of here to be loyally devoted to our purpose, to our mission. And I do feel somebody here is very single, very single, not willing to play into any casual relationships. And somebody is faithfully dedicated to their mission, and somebody is being tested to remain loyal in the energies. And definitely somebody here has specialized when it comes to their purpose, is in a specialized business of some sort, and has really worked hard. And then I feel on the flip side of that, I think somebody feels like they're being punished, and there's a lot of karma coming up in the energies too, to be addressed and to be balanced. And we always get served what we deserved. What we put out there will come back to us tenfold. So I do feel somebody is facing a lot of negative consequences when it comes to greed, materialism, unhealthy habits, envy. I think somebody is very envious of this very single energy that is faithfully devoted to their life purpose. And it's kind of time to spend that time reflecting on how can you honor and care for yourself. You should never ever be jealous or envious of another's journey. You really don't know what they've had to go through to get to this point in their life. And I think somebody's been working really hard, exerting themselves physically for little or no money, clinging to these material possessions. And I feel there's going to be a tower of some sort when it comes to, I don't think we're ever really punished, but sometimes we have to learn lessons the hard way. And I feel, you know, nobody is responsible for your successes or your failures but you. That onus is on you and you alone. And somebody needs to take initiative to plan for the future, to release these unhealthy habits, and to release this energy of feeling imprisoned by materialism, greed, envy, and jealousy. I think somebody here is a spiritual teacher of some sort. And I think somebody has been instructed to seek to restore a sense of balance within a connection. So let's jump in with some cards and see what else needs to come through. A happy family. Your happily ever after is always there for the taking, but you have to reach a place of emotional contentment first and foremost. Nobody else is responsible for your happiness but you, and if you're not happy on the inside, nothing outside of you externally is going to create that happiness. There is nothing externally outside of you that can ever fill that void if you're not happy from the inside out first and foremost. So I do think a loving relationship, a happy home, happy children are very important to many of us on the journey. And you know, we're here to raise children wisely and successfully. So I think there's a reevaluation of people that you can trust in your life. And I love it. The Page of Pentacles. It's really time to learn something new. Where are you needing to depend on yourself? It's time to get to work. It's really time to get to work. And the energy is presenting all kinds of new opportunities and doorways to open up, especially when it comes to career shifts. Maybe even a promotion of some sort. But I do feel it's kind of time to embrace a new area of esoteric study, to explore some healing work, some coursework, to find your motivation to get inspired again, to find your ambitious energy to maybe take that leadership role, to step into that leadership role. You know, many of us have a hard time stepping into the spotlight. I have a Leo North node, and so coming out of that Aquarius South node of, you know, being that humanitarian and stepping into the spotlight was very uncomfortable for me. But to step into that karmic pathway of the North node is what creates all kinds of shifts, positive shifts in your life. So maybe it's time to be a public speaker, to share your knowledge, to share your journey with others. and to keep an eye on the big picture. There's always a bigger picture, so much bigger than we can even imagine. So it's time to communicate those visions. We're here to be these visionary leaders and not be sensitive of criticism of others if you are to manifest your happily ever after. And, you know, we're veering away from third-party energies, and it's kind of time to step into doing what you love. So what do you love? We always receive recognition when we step into our highest quality of self, our highest quality of work, when we step into creative endeavors and we step into this co-creative journey with the universe. We will always be paid and rewarded very well for honoring our craft and our gifts. And so I do feel it is about communal efforts, working well within the community, within solid family structures. So let's see what else needs to come through for the energies today. Will you remain loyal to who you are, to your truth, and remove these throat chakra blockages? So I do think secrets are coming out. Somebody's been living in lack mentality for sure, and there is a need for some balance. I do think there's so much to celebrate. The Four of Wands, this is, you know, a celebration. My union card, a happy home, a happy foundation, a solid foundation. And when we send gratitude out there into the universe, we receive so much back in return. If you don't have gratitude for what it is you have, and you cling and you cling and you cling, that's when the universe comes in and takes that away from you. So peace and prosperity are coming, but you have to first become peace and contentment in your personal life first and foremost. And that's when all of the good that you put out there will come back to you tenfold. So maybe get ready to receive an unexpected flow of abundance is a message. But let's talk about these cards first. We get the Five of Pentacles in reversed, the High Priestess in reversed, and we have the Ace of Swords. So get ready for an epiphany of some sort, a new brilliant creative idea to come from your higher self, the angels and the guides. And these ideas might need a little bit of a refinement when it comes to a new creative endeavor. But I feel get ready to overcome some obstacles. But you have to have faith that everything always works out. Everything always has a funny way of balancing out and working out in the end. So, but we need to communicate clearly, concisely, openly, honestly, and we do have to remain objective. Not everybody thinks like we do. So I feel somebody's been hiding something. Somebody has been going inward on this discovery of self. I think there's going to be some secrets revealed when it comes to some negative thought patterns. And I do feel it's kind of time to come out of this lack mentality, this victim mentality. And when you're in victim mentality and like, oh my God, why is all of this happening to me? Everything bad always happens to me. You're going to manifest more negative cycles in your life. So it's time to kind of get real, to face these challenges when it comes to negative thoughts manifesting in our physical reality. And we're kind of needing to release any fears surrounding money. And when you're in the flow and you're aligned, money just flows, and there's never ever a struggle with financial issues. I know if I look back years ago before my awakening, I used to be the person that would open up the computer every morning and I would log into my bank account and I would count every little penny, everything I've spent, what I could spend. And it was like I was always living in this lack mentality. And when I stepped into the flow, I don't check my bank account every day. I check it when I need to and when I pay my bills, and I'm always like, oh my God, look at all that money in the bank account. And so when you release any fears about not having enough, you always have plenty. We're not here to work harder. We're here to work easier to manifest more. So I feel it's really a good time for many of us to step into self-employment. You might need to reach out and ask for assistance. This could also speak of total financial ruin, maybe because there's been a lack of truth, a lack of honesty. And I think it's really time to pull that sword out of that stone and to know just how powerful you truly are. could be dealing with a Pisces, or you could be dealing with a Sag. We do have the Temperance card, but I feel the time is now. The time is now to really release any struggles in the mind space. We have the Seven of Pentacles, the Seven of Swords. 7 is a very heavenly number, so this is like divinely guided exposure is what I'm feeling. And then we get the 10 of Swords with the balance, with the Temperance. So moderation. There's definitely the end of a very toxic situation where there's been lies, there's been cheating, there's been like a blockage to personal freedom. And you're going to want to take caution, because I think somebody's actions against you, they're trying to create a material loss in your life. So you really need to make sure that you're always honest with yourself and others in all of your dealings, because I do feel an embarrassing secret is coming out, humiliating secret exposure. When it comes to a very heavy burden that somebody's carried on their shoulders and on their heart for a very long time. And it's kind of time to end all of these addictive patterns, codependencies, and any melodramatic situations. When you're surrounded by drama and conflict, that's going to keep manifesting over and over. And we're breaking free from these negative cycles. So it's kind of time to plant those seeds in a new directions, and your efforts and your investments will be rewarded in the future. But it does take a lot of hard work. Manifesting isn't just like that. You have to feel the emotion. You have to believe that you deserve everything that you're manifesting. You have to envision it into your future, and then you have to do the hard work to bring it forward. You can't just sit on your ass on the couch every day and hope everything's just going to fall into place. You still have to do the work. So there is a need for patience. It takes time to build something from ground zero. And there is a need to maybe just rest as you plant those seeds for the future, and you do the planning and you do the work and you take the guided action steps you're being asked to take, and releasing all of this unnecessary worry. But I do think somebody's been deceiving you, and maybe somebody's been planning to sneak away from something for a very long time. But it's kind of time to create that moderation in your life, to blend ideas with others within the spiritual community. If you want to create something extraordinary, it always starts with you first and foremost. So maybe it's time to reach a successful compromise. Maybe it's time to embrace the power of diversity, and self-control, patience, and balance is going to be needed if you are to have, you know, an equal giving and receiving relationship. And you are going to have to trust in your own psychic capabilities to release any self-sacrificing behaviors. Many of us have deep psychic insights, and we need to trust in our intuition if we're to manifest a deep love of family and friends in our life. It's about following the heart and releasing this stagnancy. Somebody has been unwilling to make a decision that's been needing to be made for a while. The 10 is like, hey, this burden has been carried for a long time. You have to be willing to follow your heart and to make yourself happy. You can't keep pretending there's no problem, and you can't keep over analyzing this situation. So let's keep going here. The Four of Pentacles. So there's that greed, that miser clinging to everything so tightly is when things kind of get removed out of your life. So there's like an extreme distortion when it comes to how you give or receive money. And the more you give, the more you receive. The more you cling, the less you're going to have. So emotions and money are always interconnected. So I think it's time to make a very smart decision with your finances. Everything isn't just black and white. When we are charitable and giving and loving, that is when all of these resources flow into our life. So somebody's going to really need to manage their finances very carefully. And another 10. So another indication of, hey, you're working too hard for your money. And I work hard for my money too. But there is a need for work-life balance. And we are, you know, here to allow others to help us. We still have to help ourselves first and foremost. So if you've got health problems due to stress because you've carried a burden for a very long time, I think the energy is asking you to take decisive, driven, focused action forward. There's going to be an event of great speed that is going to get you unstuck in the energies, and you're going to have to choose wise responses to all of these challenges rather than playing into all kinds of melodramatic emotional responses. So get ready for sudden or unexpected change, because it is this major review of all of your options, and new doorways are opening and you will be tested. So will you remain loyal to your truth and your mission is a big question. It doesn't matter how advanced you are in your life or on the journey. We all have challenges to face. So I do feel there's this disillusioned energy when it comes to the ego. We have the ego, which is the devil card. So where are you trapped in an illusion of extreme codependencies or addictions? And being trapped is an illusion. And Archangel Michael has been working very closely with many in the collective to cut these energetic cords, to cut these blockages, to cut these chains to all of these toxic people, places, and things. And first and foremost starts with taking accountability for your situation. And then you can make a different choice, a choice that will support your pathway to happiness. But there is addictions and unhealthy habits that are needing to be addressed. And there is a need to get those firm boundaries in place. So where are you needing to use this double-edged sword to embrace your transformation journey, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Queen of Swords, in order to experience a release of all of these negative situations and people that are no longer serving you? Because the illusion of being trapped is just that, an illusion. We all have the choice to take our power back. So there's people in your life that are needing to be released. And although this is a difficult decision to be made, it's time to focus on, releasing and embracing this ending, experiencing all of the emotions entailed with the ending, releasing any judgment, and releasing the lower ego, because we're manifesting solid committed partnerships, change in legacy, a shift in legacy, a windfall, because security is important when it comes to family structures. So could be receiving an inheritance. It's very lucky expanded energy as well, and with that conjunction today. So if you want peace and contentment in your life, then you have to create that in your life. You have to honor family traditions, and you have to have pride in your family. And I do feel we're here to pass on this knowledge, to be those wise counselors, the Hierophant, Taurus energy. And when we embrace unity consciousness with other spiritually minded people within the community, that's when we can trust that all of the answers are coming that we need. You might need to seek wise counsel. And I feel somebody here is a pillar of strength. And somebody here has honored traditions. And it's kind of time to bring these new ideas into the collective that will serve you moving forward. But there is a need to go into that release of any lingering heart pain. So it is through great sadness that we discover who we are. It is in the midst of the chaos and the conflicts and the pain that we go through in this life that we find just how strong we really are. So, all pain does heal with time. Time heals all wounds. And I think the energy is saying, let go of the past. Let go of the past. Embrace personal growth that will come from these challenges and this heartbreak. And perhaps it's time to heal any misunderstandings with another if you are to have that reconciliation that you desire. And it's time to be there for others in need. If you want victory and success, you're going to have to make a wise choice. So I kind of feel recognition is coming to those that have been walking the honoring pathway and living a life of integrity. And promotions and rewards are around the table, and there is a major karmic rebalancing in the energies today. And it's time to be impartial. It really is time to stand up for what it is that you believe in and to see all sides of the situation. Libra is very balanced, and we're very objective. We do like to see all sides of a situation, and we're always in a win-win position when we come from a place of personal integrity. So there is a fresh new start around the corner. End of delays are coming. So get ready for sudden or unexpected progress in the energies. And this is going to be positive change. No matter how painful this change comes in, it is positive change. Because it's kind of time to work on the past, to heal any brokenness within a deep soulmate connection. It's time to revisit something that you didn't think you were going to have to revisit before. And this is where we embrace this deep inner child healing. And there is a return of somebody from the past. Maybe you've over-romanticized how things used to be, but there is a lot of love here. And maybe it's time to do the deep work when it comes to bringing something back into balance. There's a need to release any conflict with others. If you're dealing with people causing all kinds of opposing opinions in your life, walk away from the drama. Walk away from the drama because it's not really worth your time. It's time to stand up for yourself if you are to have all of your wishes come true. So I feel get ready for your dreams to become your reality. This truly is a magical time for the collective. A magical time of good fortune, but you have to have faith in the universe that everything will work out. And maybe there's a need for an apology to come forward. I think there's a masculine preparing to come forward with an apology, likely a twin soul. Maybe this person wasn't using their logic before, and I feel they're about ready to take charge of a situation, Aries, to accept a leadership role and to come forward with an apology in order to fall in love again. So get ready for a resurgence of a connection from the past. It's time for that equal exchange. Forgiveness is going to be needed. And if you want to end all of these challenges, you know, forgiveness is going to be needed. You can't keep focusing on the negative. We can always turn our life around, but forgiveness of self and others is really what is needed right now collectively. And the understanding that everything really does happen for a reason. We don't really understand sometimes in the throes of the pain why, but there's always a hidden blessing below these lessons. And I do feel get ready for a resurgence of a romantic relationship from the past to return. And a masculine to come forward with a long overdue apology is what I'm feeling, because somebody is going through a significant life transformation and changes. And this unexpected revelation is allowing somebody to break free from this procrastination and all of these old negative belief patterns. So let's get a couple last messages from Spirit. It's time to refocus your energy and to attain your goals. So somebody's been in a toxic relationship, starting to teach them something very important. And you're really needing to trust your intuition in the energies. So what other messages from Spirit need to come through for the collective today? Whatever situation you're being tested in, it's very unhealthy. And I think it's time to recognize that and address that. If you are to fully heal the past in order to enjoy the present moment and to step into this future timeline, because Spirit is saying, hey, I'm over here. I'm ready to offer you the guidance that you need, but you have to open up your mind and you have to be willing to seek that assistance. So, and you also need to be rigorously honest with yourself about what is going on, because there's a situation here, very unhealthy, fraught with deception. Somebody's been trapped in an illusion of the mind. And honesty is required, because the outcome is going to bring happiness and prosperity, but you're going to have to step into spiritual maturity. You're going to have to recognize wisdom has been achieved, and learning is necessary at this time in order to embrace the future timelines that are being presented. So what makes your heart sing with joy? What makes your heart sing with joy? Because I do feel it's time to recapture that vitality now and honesty. The worst truth is always better than the best lies. So get ready for a lot of truth to be spoken, and you got to know when to walk away. We cannot keep compromising ourselves just to be connected to others. And, you know, we're never, ever truly alone. So maybe being single is what is needed temporarily in order for you to realign your energies and to find the hidden blessings in any lessons that are coming up to be addressed in the energies today. And that's what I have for a message today for the collective. I hope this helped. I hope this resonated. If you would like to book a personal or a twin flame reading with me, please feel free to check out that description box below, guys. And I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.